Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Expert Event Management. I am super excited today to have 2 amazing guests. We are going to talk about several different things going on in our current environment. We'll answer some questions and take a deep dive because, as you know, we bring in the experts to talk about everything event related. I'd like to introduce Kristal Mallookis. She is the CEO and founder of Mustard Lane, which is a national event staffing company with 13 years in the experiential event industry. Mustard Lane has worked thousands of events representing hundreds of brands. Kristal also runs an intimate space called Mo Space. In 2019, she launched Off the Lane, a nonprofit for the creative community. Kristal, thank you for joining us today. And also with us is Ben Hoffman, who's the founder and CEO of City Hunt. Ben's mission is to inspire people to make awesomeness throughout the interactive team building games and experiences. And he's done a great job at doing that. So Ben, thank you today for being with us.
Thank you.
And later on, we're gonna have a special celebrity guest. So let me start with Kristal. What have you done now to continue operations?
Tough and good question. It's been a huge, pivot is the word. It's been a huge pivot. Our company is based on live events, experiences, we're the face of brands. We normally are working pop-ups and street teams, and that's what we do. We provide the face with the brand. So what my internal team did is we've done some hardcore brainstorming and pretty much thought of every capability that we could offer in a virtual way, including like virtual hosts for Zoom meetings, Zoom events. We've done like social ambassadors, just being like that extra like or whatever on Instagram, and just like a support group, because these are real people. One of my favorites is we launched a virtual Telegram service. So it's kind of like Cameo, but like with real artists and real surviving artists. And so, people like for Mother's Day, they had someone with a guitar singing a song of their choice, and we send it to them, and it helps the artistic community. So it's been a really fun thing and definitely one of my favorites. We're also putting together virtual experiences for corporate events. Specifically, we're honing in on virtual internships and trying to create some sort of community and fun experiences with them. So we've been putting together a lot of different capabilities and just seeing, what works.
So tell me, how does a virtual assistant work?
So, basically, because we are a staffing agency and generally we've done just like the live event work, we are definitely opening it up to doing more admin stuff, doing more of that guest greeting stuff. And we've hit a bunch of different HR companies because we do hire mainly actors and dancers and models who have that pretty smile and pretty face, and they're ready to be a virtual face for their company. And also do some admin stuff on the side if they need it. We have unicorns over here.
I know, because we used to work together. I always got the best staff whenever we've done live events together. So watching you make that switch to now all these different offerings, is pretty amazing to be able to accomplish that. It's so interesting to me to see how people have made that transition pretty quickly.
Yeah, you kind of have to, and with the way that I've always run my company, and thank you for the compliment on our staff, is that we vet them, we know them, we have a database of 5,000 people, they fill out this amazing profile, and they're all super talented in a lot of different ways, so we know all of their skills. So when we pitch any of these virtual services, we know exactly who we want to be those prospective staff to do that specific task. So, we came up with so many, and I'm excited. We're just now putting the word out, I hired a PR company. So as we slowly get back into this unpause world, it is going to be interesting just to see, how it all unfolds. But we're prepared either way. And my goal is just to create more work for all the talented people that I have in my database.
Ben, I'm going to switch it over to you for a second. You and I have worked together in the past when we've done live, scavenger hunts and stuff like that. So tell the folks out there a little bit about how you've applied that to now digital online events.
Awesome. Yeah. So when this all happened, we were like, what are we going to do? Our whole thing. We have this amazing technology. My passion, the team's passion is like getting people connected with one another so they learn about themselves and learn about the environment where they're at through these experiential, we kind of call it like what circuses are. Circus Soleil is the circuses. We're sort of like that to scavenger hunts, where we just try to build customized experiences where people, they're going to have fun, but they're really going to get to know each other and connect. There's a lot of stress and sadness a lot at work because of relationships. So that was always our goal, is like be a relationship-driven company. So when this all happened, how do we do this virtually, kind of create that experience? So we started building a bunch of different games virtually online, scavenger hunts, like taking game show, all the gamification tools, and then we mashed it all together into one experience, which is like the best of. We're like, everyone loves this, everyone loves that, and we have like amazing hosts. So our team, it's the same thing. Like I love all of our hosts, the people who are on the ground doing the work, really care about making awesome for others, and that is our goal, is to give them a great experience so they pass it on and realize, hey, the best part about being here is being human and the relationships that are there. So we've figured out a way through our virtual guides and our technology is to really get people connecting during Zoom. So we've created a 2-screen experience where they all sign into Zoom and then they're all playing a game on our mobile app. And so everybody gets to cheer each other on as they're putting their submissions in and just feeling really connected and feeling really loved. Because I feel like that's what we need the most right now, is just like that connection, man, that like, oh, wow, that's a nice moment I'm having.
It's definitely a global reach now. I have clients that, before you would have to do a cooking experience or, a conference dedicated to your region. Occasionally they would open it up, but then you got to factor in travel time and all of that. Now the guest count is pretty much unlimited and you can open it up to anywhere. Before, the client would have to factor in travel, the cost of a venue, food and beverage, like all of these, normal things that you factor into a live event. The world we're in right now, there is no venue, there's really no food and beverage, and talent doesn't have to travel anymore. And they're doing it from home. So the cost is a lot less to book the talent.
And our events are sort of social distancing by nature because you're usually in small teams. So it does work. I mean, you're in a team of, 3 to 5 people. So
you're outside potentially.
And you're outside.
Yeah.
So you're outside. So we're rebuilding the way we run those events. We're working on new technology to do that. We did have somebody book for the fall already with us in September. So that's, that is definitely, but we have a backup. We have a virtual, but we just have virtual backups too. So as people are booking, we're like, okay, but if that doesn't here, we have this. So we're just trying to stay nimble and doing that. And, just like you said, I put it up to the universe, how that's all going to work. Like it's going to be what it's going to be. That's the hardest part, I think, as co-founders, entrepreneurs, people doing this, is just having faith and surrendering to what's going on and staying present in the moment. And just trying to be with what people need there and what is provided to us in a safe, and that's what we're also figuring out, safe ways to do the games for our staff, for our team, for ourselves, and for all the participants, what that all looks like and how that all flows. But it changes every day.
So I'm going to turn it back to Kristal and ask you what your point of view is on that as well. Like, where do you see this going for your business and in the industry for the rest of the year?
So I definitely agree with you. I think everything's going to be on a small scale. I find myself lucky because we do work with so many brands and event production companies that as they do produce small events, I know that my company will be directly involved in the execution of them. They'll just be on a small scale. We have gotten some inquiries, just light touches for fall. But it's just people kind of treading the water, trying to just be hopeful and keep conversations moving, which I'm all for. Anything positive in my inbox is exciting. And then I did get a huge inquiry for something in summer of 2021. So people are already putting all of their ideas and creativity into next year, which is okay. As long as I'm on their radar to help them with that, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I agree. And Ben, how about you? What do you see happening in your world, like for your business and also, for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so we're seeing still a lot of all the summer internship programs. We do a ton of work with that. So they're all booking sort of virtual events, and then we have some people who are reaching out for the fall. Right before this happened, it just looked like it, and then to have it magic, oh god, right, like that, and then okay, now you have to work. You were making 2 big decisions a day. Now you're making 50.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that was the big difference too, is just like I wasn't having to make a lot of decisions because we had really good systems and really thought out, really mindful, things in place, but all of that changed. So that's been it. And it hasn't been easy. It's been probably the toughest, a lot of personal stuff too. I'll be honest. Like we're all in this together. I'm talking to a lot of people, spending time with my family, my friends, just like how can we support each other? How can I support my team? That's really what it's pushed me into, and just kind of being like, I want to build a company now that's not a doing company, but a being company that lives in soulful abundance. If I can be every day and trust the universe on what I need to do and where it needs to go, what does it look like when the company starts to flow that way?
I agree with that. I think it is important to stay present and not get wrapped into, the uncertainty. My advice to anyone listening is to just focus on what you can control, and not so much about the circumstances. And I think you both are doing a really great job at doing that, because when you own a company, there's just so many moving parts all the time. So to totally just do a revamp and change everything you've been doing is, not an easy task. And it's also, I think, just getting over the ego. Like, why do I have to do this again? I think once we get over that mental block and you say to yourself, well, if I did it once, I can do it again. And then, just start cracking on from there. So I think there is, a lot of relevance to what you just said, especially in the big picture. So yeah, I think that was inspiring for me to hear that you had already been doing that. I feel like I actually got a little bit of a late start. But then I also say to other people who maybe aren't as far along as we are, that it's really not too late to change what you're currently doing if it's not working. So we have a surprise guest today. I am going to bring in Mr. John Stessel.
How's it going, guys? Can you see me? Test 1, 2.
Yes, we can.
Amazing. Do I need to turn my screen or anything, or does this work for you?
Yeah, I think we should probably turn it. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the magic trick.
Let me get myself situated. Gotta love the tech thing, and it should work this time. And we should be golden.
Yeah.
There we go.
How's it going, everybody?
It's good. We're like really having such a great conversation. So I wanted to introduce you to my guests today, Kristal Mallookis with Mustard Lane and Ben Hoffman with City Hunt. And we are now joined with John Stessel, celebrity magician, who has a unique blend of close-up magic, cardistry, and social media. As a performer, he's been in high demand, I know for myself, and performed magic for 50 Cent, Travis Scott, Trey Songz, John Travolta, Marky Ramone, as well as the governor of New Jersey, and a lot of corporate clients. He did an amazing event for me out of the goodness of his heart for Make-A-Wish, and really blew everyone away. John is just super talented and a lot of fun to work with.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So with that, I would love for you to show Kristal and Ben kind of what you got.
I would love to. All right, so you guys, it's really rare that you're ever in an experience where you're going to see magic through a screen instead of in person. Like normally speaking, I would do something for you in person. So I've had to kind of rework what I normally do to a way that fits in the screen. And it brought me back to when I used to dream about when I got into magic. Like I used to think back and I'd be like, how would a magic trick look like if it started from scratch? And I always thought what would it look like in the factory? And I got this special ordered, which is a blank deck of cards. It's kind of silly, but this is literally what cards look like before they're printed. They're blank on both sides, right? And I thought, if we went back to this point, we could kind of rewrite how magic looks. So you can see there's no cards here at all. But this is what's interesting. If I just squeeze these cards, you would swear I print a card. And then if I print one, you'd swear I print a back. And I think you guys know where this is going. The whole
No way, come on.
Oh.
just like that, creating the illusion that we can actually now begin with.
Amazing. Every time I'm always dumbfounded.
Well, thank you. Let's start with Ben. Ben, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now, normally I'd have you pick a card, but it's impossible. So I came up with this. I'm
Okay.
going to run my thumb down the edge. Just say stop whenever you'd like.
Okay. Stop.
Right here. Remember the card.
Okay. Got it.
You have it locked in the brain?
Locked in.
Perfect. We'll lose it in the middle and shuffle it up. Now, normally speaking, I would look at you in person. I try to read your facial features and divine your card. However, through a screen, there's some limitations with that. For example, any rendering lags, I might not read perfectly. So I had to figure out a new way to do that old thing, and I think you'll enjoy this. Watch the lighter. Think of your card. If I just squeeze the lighter, I'll actually grab the flame and it'll transform into a card. The 8 of diamonds.
It worked.
Oh my
Perfect.
gosh.
Nailed it. Love it.
Nailed it. I love it.
So good.
I mean, I just don't know. Like, one day I just need you to tell me one trick.
I can't make that promise. Let's try something. Yeah, 'cause usually I do a trick where I'll take a deck of cards, you guys pick one out. And if I'm doing it here, there's no way to know these aren't rigged, that I'm not cheating, so I'm not gonna do it like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna all make a moment here together, okay? Okay, and the moment is gonna simply be like this. I want you guys to imagine a face-up deck of cards. So you can see all the cards, except one card is face down. We don't know what the face down card is, but we're gonna create that memory together, okay? So imagine that face down card. We're gonna mix it in. We're gonna put it back in the box. We'll close it and we'll put it to the side. Okay, so we're gonna create that idea. Now in a deck of cards, there are red cards and black cards. Alicia, we'll actually start with you because the camera's on you. Alicia, pick red or black?
Red.
Red. Okay, so Ben, out of the red cards, there are hearts and diamonds. I want you to pick heart or diamond.
Heart.
Heart. Perfect. Kristal, so there's 2 through 10. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you to pick the final number.
Okay. Do I say
Go
that?
ahead. Yeah, out loud.
Yeah, 6.
6. Now, if we did this correctly, Alicia picked red, Ben picked heart, right? Heart?
Yes. Yeah.
And Kristal, you just picked 6. Was that fair? There's no way I could have influenced any of that.
No.
Now, here's what's interesting. Remember I told you guys to imagine a face-up deck of cards with one card face down, me shuffling it up, throwing it back in the box, and putting it aside? That's weird, because I put a deck of cards to the side.
Oh, God.
And what's crazy about this is I put one card and only one card face up amongst the rest.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You guys
That's a
chose the 6 of hearts. How did you guys pick the 6
I mean, just amazing. Like, just
Wow.
so amazing. Like, I just,
Oh, well, thank you guys. I appreciate
really,
it.
That was awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
You
well, don't
are
mention it.
truly fantastic. You really are.
Well, it's the
And-
least I could do for you, Alicia. I see you're doing something fun, so we wanted to bring a little magic to it.
Yeah, we want to kind of promote all of you guys. Part of this channel is helping others and giving back and just trying to kind of pay it forward and keep positivity in the light of the situation we're in. I think anytime you can add entertainment is always a bonus. And with that, I just want to give everybody one last word. If you wanted to share some advice, what would you tell people that are still really struggling with our current environment? So Ben, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I would say it starts with soulful abundance, and that is the hardest thing I think for most people to find, is finding that moment, what's going to give you peace. And it's tough in these times to find that, but for me, through meditation, breath work, that type of thing, and I always go from there, and that's where sort of emotional and physical vitality come, and then the financial stuff sort of rolls from there. So when I'm not sure where to go, I kind of go to that place first and try to dig in there and then get to the sense of kind of being and let that guide me kind of in this surrender. So that's what I would say.
It's important to stay grounded in turbulent times. So I think, having that inner peace really helps you to focus on what's next.
Yeah.
Kristal, what advice would you have?
I mean, I think it's important to keep your chin up, keep positive, keep creating, keep pushing yourself. I think the worst thing you can do is just kind of stand still and wait and feel sorry for yourself. So, you know, total opposite of that.
Right. And I think, fear has a way of paralyzing people when you're so engrossed in the news and, you feel like your only answer is to maybe wait for funding that still hasn't come. It's still not too late to reach out to people who are in your industry or reach out to just anyone. Everyone is available right now. So if you're trying to pivot your business and you just really don't know where to start, I would say the first thing to do is to really just reach out to people who have either done it or are doing it, or just a mentor, someone that can, at least brainstorm ideas to, offer that assistance just to put something in motion. And John, I know you're always out and about and creating. What would you say to other vendors, like yourself?
On our side of this, for me, the thing specifically that I've tried to do is adapt on the minor level before adapting on the major level, right? It's major crisis mode for a lot of people in the world, and it's stressful. So for me, I look at first daily and weekly shifts. What could I convert this week? Even if it's something so small, could I update my website? Could I reach out to 3 old clients? What could I convert this week? And then I take it from a further plan. So it's converting on a minor level and adapting on a minor level and then taking it to like a major goal. Because it's really tough right now for everybody. But for me, it was like, okay, let me just write one digital magic trick. One magic trick I could do over Zoom. And then from one, I said, let's write 2 and 3. And then I put together a whole show. But if I just started like, I'm going to turn my show into a Zoom show, that's an impossible undertaking. That's a lot to do.
Right. It's very overwhelming. I think that's such great advice. Little baby steps, and then get to the bigger picture. I think that's really, really valuable advice, especially everyone is feeling overwhelmed right now. For myself personally, I know I'm starting to go down that road again because we're getting close to the holiday season. So in my mind, I'm already selling holiday parties in August. That's when I start.
Yeah, and, same here.
Yeah. So I'm already like, what can I create now to be able to sell to clients in August so that they can have a holiday party? So I think the 4 of us should get together again and start brainstorming ideas about how we're going to make that happen.
I would love it. Best holiday party ever.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you for joining today, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you so much. So
Bye,
awesome.
guys. Appreciate you all.
Bye. Thank you.
You're the best. It was so nice meeting you both as well. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I'm sure we'll all talk very soon.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.
All right. Best weekend ever, everybody.
Yeah, best weekend ever.
Best weekend ever. Take care.